All right, I'm James here again with El Paso English Cafe. Okay, I'm James here again with El Paso English Cafe. What I'd like to talk to you about now is sound number 5 in English and sound number 6. Sound number 6 is very common in languages throughout the world, okay? We've got it in Spanish, and you've also got it in a lot of languages. It's one of the most common vowel sounds. How common? This common. If you have a sore throat, you have an infection, and you want a doctor to look at your throat, if you go to the United States, or Mexico, or Thailand, or Zimbabwe, or Nigeria, or Sweden, I don't care where you go, the doctor is going to ask you to do something. The doctor is going to say to you, open your mouth and say, ah. It's the same sound. I've tried this. I know. I have Chinese students who have confirmed with me that in China, the doctor says, open your mouth and say, ah. Why is that? Because it's the most open sound. Your mouth is wide open, ah. Your throat is open, ah. Your tongue is down and out of the way, ah. There is nobody on earth, well, can't be completely categorical. It's uncommon to find a person who has difficulty with ah. Ah is very easy. Okay, so we've got ah. That's sound number 6 in English. Now, here's something you may be interested in seeing, and this is something, look, in English, the most common letter for indicating ah is the letter O. Okay, now, I know that's the source of some difficulty for my Spanish speakers, because O doesn't sound like ah. O is a different thing. Yes, in English, each vowel letter has a double identity and other identities after that. Right, the O in English is most commonly used to indicate ah. It's not the letter A. The letter A in English indicates very often sound number 5, which is close to sound number 6, but it's not the same, okay? Here's one of my grave disappointments with the IPA as well. The IPA uses a form of the letter A to indicate ah. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me teach English to Spanish speakers, because it is reinforcing an association from Spanish that actually needs to be de-emphasized. You need to break, to some extent, that association. We don't want, well, let's see. In English, if your only association with the letter A is the sound ah, the approximations you make will confuse your speakers. Okay, so here we go. So this is ah in Spanish, ah in English. The word here is mop. Ah, ah, ah. Does Tom mop for mom? Tom, mop, mom. All spelled with the letter O in English. Okay, here's some more examples. On, stop, pot, pop, pond, drop, lock, bob. All of them with the letter O. So please develop that association. Letter O with the sound ah. It's not exclusive. It's not the only association you need to know with letter O, but it is an important association. Okay, now let's talk about how sound number 5 is different from sound number 6. It's similar, but it's different. There are many dozens of common words in English with the sound number 5, ah. And you may cause confusion if you always or often substitute this sound ah. It's not a bad approximation. It is an approximation that will allow you to communicate in English. However, if you're going to become excellent at English, if you're going to avoid many confusions, it's very helpful to develop this sound ah. Okay, it's not ah, it's ah. Now I don't know if you can see the difference that I make with my mouth. Here's sound number 6, ah. Here comes ah, 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 ah. Now watch my tongue. Ah, 6, ah, 5. Here it is again. Ah, 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 ah. Do you see my tongue coming up? Okay, look for that. My tongue will come up. 6, the tongue is on the floor of my mouth. It's way down. On 5, the tongue is coming up in the back. Ah, ah. Okay, there it is. Now, you also may notice something about my lips. For ah, number 6, ah, my mouth opens all the way, my lips are relaxed. Ah, ah, ah. My lips come back some extent. Ah, 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 ah. So tongue up, lips back, ah. Ah, ah has tension. Ah sounds like someone is attacking you, gonna choke you. Ah, ah. If a baby is crying intensely, a baby is not making a relaxed sound. Do babies cry like this? Wah, wah. No, they don't. They don't. Babies cry with ah, wah, wah. Okay? They do. Listen to a baby. A baby makes English sound number 5. Okay, so here we go. What else can we do for you? Let's look at a couple of words some names that get confused if you confuse what the letter indicates, and if you haven't developed the ability to distinguish listening, sound number 5, or the ability to speak sound number 5 distinct from sound number 6. So look at these names. Okay. This requires ah. This also requires ah. This is Danny. Okay? Now, Spanish speakers will use sound number 6 as an approximation, and when they see this, often the result will be sound number 6, and it sounds like Donnie. If you put in sound number 6 here, your English speaker will misinterpret it usually as Donnie. This with an O is Donnie. This with A is Danny. Danny. Ah, Danny. Danny. Danny, get in here. Danny. Danny. Okay? This is Donnie. Donnie, get in here. Donnie. Donnie. See? Okay. So we've also got, this is a girl's name. This name is Tammy. Comes from Thomasina or Tamara. This is Tammy. Ah, Tammy. This is Tommy. Tommy. This is sound number 6. Ah. Sound number 5. Ah. Tammy. Tammy. Tommy. Tommy. Okay? Well, I hope I haven't frightened anybody. I'm using my loud voice today. But that's the difference between 5 and 6. 5 is ah. Tension. Ah. Okay, lips back, tongue up, change in your throat as well. I was very proud of some students. I was asking them if they could see the difference between 5 and 6. Some of the students said, yeah, your throat. You changed your throat. Right. If you notice the change in the throat, you're on top of this. Okay. Otherwise watch. Ah, 5. Ah, 5. Ah, 6. Ah, ah. You hear ah in Italian operas. Oh, you don't hear ah in an Italian opera. Ah, no, you won't hear it. Okay, you hear 5, you hear 6. Ah, you don't hear ah. Okay, ah is too ugly to include in an Italian opera. Okay, so here, let's see. I've starred a couple of these words because if you change the pronunciation of lock, you get. If you put a number 5 in here, you get lack. Okay, there are pairs of words that are distinguished only by the change in the vowel sound. So changing the vowel sound often will confuse the listener. So here is lock. You change it, you get lack. Here is pond. You change it, you would get panned. Here is pot. You change it, you get pat. In the same way. Back, you change it, you'll get Bach, which is a kind of beer. Okay, it's not common vocabulary, but it exists in English. This tap, 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 if you change that to sound 6, it sounds like top, top of my head. tap me on the top of my head. Okay, I'm just confusing everyone now. Please come back, see another video which I will make less confusing. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying El Paso English Cafe. Are you?